I'll wait. Yo, Nate. That stuff. Lon Sensei, what's up, dude? I'll ask you too. Can you see and hear me clearly? Am I skipping around? Is my audio bad? Son of Bermuda, what's up, dude? So I'm only asking because I'm on just running straight 5G. I'm not on Wi-Fi, and normally my 5G is not great because I live in the middle of nowhere almost. So your audio cut out at first, but good now. Okay, great. And it probably will cut out here and there, and so will my video, but hopefully it stays. Ned, what's up? So the reason I switched to 5G only is because I actually want to go look at the Bermuda, and for some reason my Wi-Fi, even though I just checked it like 5 minutes ago when I was mowing, it was great, but for some reason the second I turn on Streamlabs, it goes to crap. So we got a decent amount of people in here, so let's go check out the Bermuda. I'm sure Sonny's excited about that. So hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna pop him off here. Pop. Let's go. Okay. Weeds here where you can see the dead weeds. Build everything because I figured over time the Bermuda is gonna trickle in here. I just mowed this. I had a bunch of just cheap rye, and I wanted to spray glyphosate, kill the rye, and then plant all the Bermuda so the seed wasn't just wash off these slopes. Works out a lot because I can see that my connection is awful. This was mostly weeds. I'm sure you can tell here. And then over here, this looks like saying, oh wow, this connection is going terrible. Okay, let me try switching to Wi-Fi real quick and see how it goes. Okay, so it looks like my connection speed is jumping back up. Is it good or bad? Oh, the camera makes my hand look really tiny. That's weird. Okay, like my thumb. Okay, so I can see my connection speed jumping back up, so I switched back to Wi-Fi. Okay, so I guess my Wi-Fi works fine out here. I just have to be on 5G first. Okay, so we got a lot of people in here. What's up, guys? Appreciate everyone jumping on. So I was just talking about the Bermuda lawn back here, or over here. And yes, I am out in the boonies, kind of. I have T-Mobile, which is supposed to be like really good coverage, which is true, but the coverage speed is trash. Anyway, so I was pointing out all these dead weeds. The Bermuda hasn't spread over here yet, but I have a plan for that. And I think I'm going to take plugs from the good spot and put them, crabgrass. Over here is dying rye. I didn't spray glyphosate or anything. I just sprayed weed killer, so the rye is not going to die from it, but the rye is not going to be able to tolerate the Bermuda, and Bermuda is going to take over pretty quickly. Again, got lots of crabgrass down here, but here's a nice thick section of Bermuda. Okay, it's just bouncing back and forth between Wi-Fi and 5G, so that kind of sucks. I was hoping to... Let me get next to the open garage door and see if that helps. Okay. Yeah, I got some nice thick sections here. So if I look down here, you can see pretty well how much Bermuda there is. So in this entire lawn, it's like, I think it's like 1,400 square feet total, a little under 1,400 square feet. I've measured, and I have about 1,100 square feet of Bermuda, and I can see in a lot of sections it is jumping in there. One of the funniest things though about Bermuda is you can see that I'm out of mixed fuel for my leaf blower. I'm gonna get some, I don't know, today. It's supposed to rain, so I don't really want to go out anywhere, but so when I do my edging, it's just sitting there. One of the funniest things though is instead of spreading this way towards like the bad sections over here, it instead is spreading voraciously in the cracks of the driveway. Like 2 days ago I just trimmed all this out and it's filling in here. So that's interesting, and I think maybe it's the heat. I don't know. It's really annoying. Uh-oh. Am I losing connection again? Okay, we'll just keep going. But then, you know, spots like this, it's looking really thick. You can tell that I recently changed the height of cut. I was doing it, I thought I was doing it 1.5 inches, but I'm using the measurements from my old mower and not the Toro. So I realized I needed to re-measure, and the height I was cutting it was actually 2 inches, which is not necessarily ideal for Bermuda, but because I had such thick weeds, that's why I decided to cut that high. The real mower couldn't go through it, but now I'm cutting at 1 inch, and I think once this Bermuda gets a little more used to it, it's not going to look so stemmy, you know? Oh, come on. Actually, again, I don't understand what's going on. This is really annoying, though. I can't really talk about the Bermuda without being next to the Bermuda. Whatever. Sonny, I had a question for you. If somebody says that the Bermuda is looking leggy, is that the same as how it looks right now, how it looks stock? This doesn't, because I got one router and then I have another setup. Okay, I'm reconnected. I guess I can't hang out next to the Bermuda, which is dumb because the whole point of this was to talk about Bermuda, but I can still talk about it. I just can't look at it. Yeah, my connection's like quadrupled now already. So sorry about the whatever. I have two routers. I have one that's set up as a bridge, which, like I said, when I was mowing that Bermuda just less than an hour ago, I was checking my speeds and it was fantastic. And for some reason with Streamlabs, when I go over there, it's mixed. It's hit and miss. Flies. So sorry about that. So what I was saying was I had a question for Sunny Bermuda, or anybody else who happens to have Bermuda. And I do need a mesh router, Chad. I do plan on getting one. There's a couple, I was comparing a couple, but it's not that big of a deal, because so I was gonna mention this, but I'm going to chill out on the lives. I know I only do them like once every 3 weeks now, but I'm gonna start making some videos. I'm not gonna really talk about the videos I'm gonna make yet, because you'll see, but yeah, so I'm not too worried about the Wi-Fi. And plus, like I said, every other task I need, even in the back of the garage, which is farther away than the Bermuda, the bridge works great because I have my bridge is a Nighthawk, because my router is a fiber modem router combo that I got from, I use Kinetic for fiber because it's super cheap and super fast. Yeah, so it's like a Nighthawk. Nighthawks are awesome. But yeah, I either need to adjust my bridge or just go ahead and leave it and get a mesh. Anywho, Sunny Bermuda, if you're still on, what does it mean when somebody says Bermuda is leggy? I don't know what it means. Lawn Scientist on Instagram was telling me that it looks a little leggy. I don't know what it means. Even if it's a bad thing or whatever, I know that since now my height of cut is at 1 inch with the real mower, and I'm cutting it, I just cut on Thursday and I cut again today, and I swear I just cut off 1 inch. I can't believe how fast it's growing. And I'm using plant growth regulator, so I think I need to up that a little bit more, or at least up the frequency, not the dose. But yeah, so hopefully, I think too tall and it gets squishy. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So then, yeah, with me mowing more regularly at the more recommended height, I think it's going to be fine, right? It'll start to fill. And I did see a couple things about, like, you know, if you mow it too tall, I know it gets stocky. and the stalk is brown, so then if you suddenly scalp it, it looks terrible. So I am just going to stick with cutting a 1 inch for now, because it's so weird, and the terrain over there is so weird. I don't want to go to 1/2 inch or even 3/4, because I think the reel mower is going to get stuck on some stuff, and I really don't want that. Definitely don't want to damage the reel mower. I am getting a second one soon. A friend of mine, he's moving, and he's had a reel mower in his barn forever, and he found it and went, here, I don't need this. Just needs a reset. Okay, yeah, so that's stuff I need to figure out, because some people, like Sonny Bermuda, was talking to me about how he just reset the height of cut. I don't know what that means, but is that where you just scalp it? Because again, I'm cool season, so I don't know a lot of this stuff, and I need to figure it out. Is it okay? That's just scalping it. Okay, well then, yeah, I know you're supposed to scalp like early summer and then late summer, right? But I know that that's going to be different for me. I have to kind of condense things, because your guys' Bermuda season, or at least, you know, in the warm seasonal climates, it's longer than mine, because mine's basically from like mid-May until, well, who knows, but probably like mid-October. Yeah, so yeah, that's what else I was going to mention, was the fact that I changed the height of cut. I was cutting accidentally at 2 inches, and then I took it down to 1 inch, and I'm going to sustain that at 1 inch. In addition to that, I've stopped. That's the same reel mower I was using on the bluegrass back here. I've decided, because I do have so many sections that are just looking terrible back here, I decided to take the height of cut back up to 2 inches back here and use the rotary. I'm going to chill on the reel mower until I can actually get this stuff thick and healthy. And I did finally figure out one of the bad spots I have and why. So, see, every single time I see that 5G pop up, I get nervous. I think it's going to kill my Wi-Fi. But I guess it's just using both. Whatever. T-Mobile sucks. Don't get T-Mobile if you live in the middle of nowhere. I want to get Verizon, but it's so expensive. Anyway, so one of the sections back over here, I realized that, and I never had this problem before, because I was always cutting at 2.5, 3, 4, basically 2 inches and up before. But since I've been cutting it at 1 inch, I think it was heating up the soil a lot, and that's why I have like a huge straight strip of dead, or dead, dormant, whatever you want to call it. And that's because the sun reflecting off one of my windows was just, as the sun was moving, it was just creating like a laser beam down my lawn. It's about I measured the reflective width of the window. Like, I went out there and I saw that it had like the reflection of the sunlight on the window, and I measured it, and it was exactly the width of the damaged areas. So that sucks, but because of that, I decided, no, I'm just going to switch the rotary back here, which is nice, because now I don't have to super clean the rotary every time I get done with the Bermuda, because that's what I was doing. I would mow the front at 4 inches, drop it down to, again, what I thought was 1.5 inches to 2 inches, mow the Bermuda, clean the crap out of the mower, and then put the mower away, bring the reel mower back here. But now I could just mow the front, mow the back, clean the mower at basic level, and then use the reel mower on the side. Funny what windows can do to a lawn. Yeah, I know, I never expected that. I've heard people talk about it, but I never expected it. Because I have like super old single pane windows from like the 60s. Excuse me. So and like I said, I've never seen it before, because I think the grass was so tall. Yeah, so what somebody asked me what I did for fertilizer. I realized I had to skip around that because I was moving around because of the Wi-Fi and stuff. But what I'm doing with fertilizer for the Bermuda is I just put down 3 pounds per 1,000, so like 4 pounds, or 4.5 roughly, of the flagship from Yard Mastery, because I still had some. Now I only have enough to do like a small dose over there, and that's about it. But I just put that down, so that's going to give me what, 0.75, 0.8 pounds of nitrogen on that Bermuda. And then I did the same thing like a month maybe before that. All I'm trying to do is get it growing aggressively and vigorously before it starts to get cool here. because we have so much random stuff that happens, and I'm sure anybody from the Midwest or anyone anywhere has similar issues. But over here, especially because we're so close to the river and so close to the bluffs, that weather acts weird around here. Thanks, Chad, by the way. I think it's looking way better too. It's looking super healthy, and I'm shocked how good it's looking for the fact that it's, you know, summer and hot and humid, super humid. Oh yeah, no, yep, Chad, I did read all about that. My lawn plan involves me stopping all nitrogen once the soil temp is reaching 75. So before it ever hits 75, so as long as it's still, you know, in the 80s. Actually, I think my plan is to stop when I see a consistent soil temp over the course of like 5 days of 78. Then I'm not going to do any more nitrogen at all, but I am going to do potassium. Because that's what I read, that's a really, really good thing. I'm just glad you didn't go blonde this year. Yeah. I'm going plenty gray though. I mean, I don't know how well it's coming up in camera, or on camera, but yeah, I was reading that one recommendation, regardless of, or not necessarily regardless, but for new Bermuda lawns, as long as the soil test didn't show super high levels of potassium, was to add a nice good dose of potassium before, as like a winterizer for Bermuda. So I'm going to do that. That's, I mean, hopefully. So I'm probably going to get the, what am I going to get? Oh, the granular prodiamine from Yard Mastery, or Sunnyland, or I know it's technically Sunnyland, so you don't have to just get, I'm not just going to, anyway, you don't have to get on Yard Mastery. I'm just going to pick Yard Mastery, because if I use my own affiliate link, then I'm paying myself when I buy stuff. But that, it's like an 00, okay, so I think the prodiamine is an 007, I think the dithiopyr is, maybe it's a 600, I don't remember, but I'm going to use that, maybe. I might get like the sulfate of potash, maybe? I just don't know the rates I need to use, but I'm still researching. And then I already have a bunch of prodiamine, so I would just use the liquid prodiamine. Okay, great, that's awesome. I'm going to do that then. And I've been asking lots of people, and it's funny that the different ways that people do Bermuda, but essentially the roots of, I guess that's a stupid comment, but the roots of the care plan are always the same. Some people say you have to mow it at exactly ½ inch, and some people say you have to mow it exactly at 1 inch, but if essentially you want to get it in the range, and same with fertilizer and stuff. And everyone did tell me that Bermuda can soak up nitrogen like crazy, so I've just been slapping it, and it's doing okay. Yeah, I just, like I said, I just need to get it to push over to the rest of the area, but if not, then if it survives the winter, then I still got all next summer. So it's 3/4 inch in my opinion is the sweet spot. Well, I need to do some leveling and some stuff over there, and once I do, then I will go to 3/4 of an inch. Normally what I do when I'm deciding height of cut, is I normally take, because you know they'll give you a range, like tall fescue is best between 3 inches and 4 inches. So I'll go, okay, 3.5 inches. I'll just right in the middle. Even when like I'm cooking a pizza in the oven, it's like, oh, 18 to 20 minutes. Okay, 19 minutes. That's what I'm gonna do. So like a Kentucky bluegrass. In general, obviously cultivars are specific, but in general, it's best between 2 and 3 inches. So 2.5 inches seems fine. In this case, I did 2 inches because my rotary does not go to 2, and it goes like 2 3/4, and I don't want it that tall. But so Bermuda, I was going to plan for 3/4, but I'm going to wait. And that's another question I had, Chad or Sunny or whoever else is on. Because I know that when you're getting ready to winterize cool season grass, a common recommendation is to mow it a little bit lower than you normally would, all the way up to mow it as low as you can go, because I know that will help reduce things like snow mold and junk like that when it starts to thaw, or when the snow starts to melt, stuff like that. So when it comes to Bermuda, should I do the same thing, or should I let it grow tall since I am going to get snow and frost and stuff? That's something I'm not too sure about, because everything you read about Bermuda has nothing to do with snow or winter in general. It just has to do with slight amounts of frost, because, you know, it's based on southern locations. So you let me know that, but I'll work that in my plan. But yeah, no, do not scout Bermuda for winter. Keep it around 101.5 inches. Ooh, I don't know if I can get it that tall. 1 to 1.5. Okay. Ooh, I think that's a little yellow jacket. Well, I guess I'll find out. He just landed on my leg. Find out if he stings me here. I don't think so. Inch to 1.5 inches. Okay, so then I'll probably let it, or rather after the first frost. We normally have like 10 first frosts because we have like 35 seasons here. So normally what happens is we'll start to get really nice cool temps around mid-October, then we'll jump back into the 90s, and then, or mid-September, and we'll jump back into the 90s for like 2-3 weeks, and then in October we'll suddenly get a frost, and then it'll suddenly get really hot, you know, high 70s, low 80s with high humidity for like most of November. And then we don't even end up getting snow past couple years. We haven't even gotten snow until January, February. So I have no idea what's going to happen this year. That's the only thing that worries me about this Bermuda is I have to kind of prep to, you know, 6 weeks before the first frost. So I'm just going to kind of let it go. I'm probably going to keep it at 1 inch, but when it comes time to do the winterizer and stuff like that, I'm probably going to end up doing it at the same time that I would be like seeding back here. This year I'm not going to be seeding. I think I really need to seed the front, because this year I did not pay attention to it at all, and it looks like complete garbage. The bugs, man, ugh. We're going to get some rain, so everything's really calm and still. So bugs, excuse me, maybe I got a bug in my throat. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, the bugs are going crazy right now. Anywho, actually, let me show you the front. Let's see if we can see how terrible, just so bad the front looks. Yeah. Actually, what I mean is, let's see if the Wi-Fi will cooperate with me. Oh yeah, so here's the back real quick. So in general, looking good. I mean, you can see I just mowed 2 days ago, but it's already overgrown. I need to mow again. We've been getting a shockingly good amount of rain. But here, you can probably hear that window AC right behind me. But this is the strip from the window. And of course it kind of leaches out a little bit. But so I've been really trying to pay really close attention to how much water this gets. But I think the first step is to you know, raise the height of cut, which this I didn't even mow because it's, you know, low. And then see, my weeds are dying, and I got it. This was a little, you know, have some flowers over here, but these stupid vines take over, and then the crabgrass takes over because I didn't actually cut in or mulch or anything, and I need to do that next year, so I'm not worried about it. But then this strip, this is looking way better. So in my opinion, this is suggesting to me that changing the height of cut is something that's going to really help this out. I don't know what's going on here, but whatever. But the front, hey, I still got Wi-Fi, good. Look at this. Look at just how garbage this looks. You can tell this was rye heavy. And I know that because I looked at it, but you can see where my sprinklers from the back stop. Because I let them go over the fence, or not over, but, you know, through the fence, so I can make sure I really get this really good. So this is all looking really good, and this is all fescue, or, you know, it's a mix, but you can really see this is killing it. And then a little farther over where I haven't been watering, yeah, look at that. That looks just terrible. And this is not dormant, this is dead. See? Well, I got some green in there, but it's dead. No in-ground, yeah, no in-ground irrigation. You know what's funny is this happens to be one of the driest summers in terms of rain. One of the driest summers I've had since I've been taking care of the lawn, which I started really taking care of things in 2018. And for the most part, I've never had to water this, ever. I've never watered the front. I mean, here and there, like as a supplement, maybe once a month at the most, and only for a short amount of time. Oh, I think my internet's gonna... Okay, we're holding steady, guys. So I've never had to water before, ever. And then this year, normally in the spring we get, I don't know, like the equivalent between the beginning of March and mid-June. We normally get about, I'd say probably a good 1.5 foot to 2 feet of rain total in those like 2.5, 3 months. This year we got like a total of 8 inches in that time. So, significantly different from the norm. So this year, yeah, it's really taken a beating. Basically all the green in here is tall fescue, because this is a mix. And I got some really awesome spots like that, and then awesome spots like by the downspout. It doesn't really look that bad, but I'm only comparing it, because I'm not going to compare it to other people's lawns, because, you know, most people's lawns in my area are either really green because they are irrigating all day long, basically, or the crabgrass. So I don't want to compare to somebody else's lawn because I don't know what they're doing, but I'm comparing it to my own for over the years. Because what was it, 2019, I started making videos. I remember specifically I had a strip here that wasn't looking good because of moles, and then because I had a sticker from the greener lawn, and I was, you know, that used to be my intro, but then the rest of the lawn basically looked like this. Now, this is mostly rye and bluegrass, not too much fescue in here. I mean, there is fescue, but you can see just how fine bladed all this is. So this is going to be mostly rye and fescue, and this is dense and thick, and it's absolutely wild. But because the downspouts right here, and the humidity is always so high here that the dew point, you know, the dew isn't gone until, you know, like 11, right? So all the dew from the roof comes flooding down, and this looks amazing, and you can see just how far down it goes. And that's because that's one of the benefits of a slope is, you know, it's clay, so it takes a minute to start soaking up that water, so then the water can keep running down, and it does soak up over time. Yes, this is GCI fescue, and I already had fescue, bluegrass, and rye already here. Are you overseeding the front this year? Chad, I really need to, but since my irrigation is my biggest problem, I really don't want to. Let's see. Just trying to make sure I'm not losing any Wi-Fi here. Yeah, but for the most part, it doesn't look horrible. I just mowed a couple hours ago. It doesn't look terrible, but again, I'm only comparing it to what I'm used to for this. Yeah, and you can see, like I said, all the green is basically that GCI fescue. Because I've been doing a lot of research on how to properly identify grass types, you know, using specific attributes and things like that. Obviously, I can't identify the grass brand from that, but I can identify the grass type. And I've yanked out chunks of the dead. I've yanked out chunks of like the brownish, and I've yanked out chunks of the green. And everything that's not normally irrigated, like this, that's mostly rye, like I said, some bluegrass in there, but everything else that's green in the lawn right now is all tall fescue. And the tall fescue that I just seeded was GCI, except for this, which, look at this. There's a bunch of weeds in there, but look how dark and green that is. That is Jonathan Green seed. Jonathan Green Black Beauty. So if I overseed, I'm going to use Jonathan Green. It's not a cut against GCI. The reason I would pick Jonathan Green over GCI is I think GCI it's a great blend, but Jonathan Green, I know for a fact, is really, really, really good in my area with high humidity, with low inputs. And the reason I know that is because I probably talked about it. All like right over there, like 2 miles that way, I have like acres of sod farm, and they all grow Jonathan Green. Is that a helicopter? Yeah. Well, hopefully that's not like a life flight or something. Yes, this does get more shade, but only slightly more shade. So right away in the morning, this is, I mean, you can see my roof line here. It kind of lines up perfectly with the sidewalk. So this does get more shade than normal. Ned, I was thinking that exact same thing. I was trying to design something that would capture from all of the, kind of like a French drain sort of thing, but instead of moving water down the French drain, it would move water through the French drain and push out. And I was going to do some sort of weird install thing where it would connect at least these two downspouts, and then the front two, I don't know, or the side two over there, I don't know what it would do. But I was thinking about doing something like that. I'm just not, I don't know if I'm really willing to put in that much effort. Anyway, oh, and the moles are coming back. You can see those. So I need to get some more of that castor oil stuff, granular castor oil. But yes, it gets more shade, and I think that's a big contributor. Like I said, our humidity and constant air moisture level is really high. So lots of grass seed gets, or lots of grasses in this area get plenty of irrigation just from air moisture. That's where hydrotain would come in handy really, really well, which I used hydrotain last year when I seeded, and it did phenomenal. But yeah, so I think I do need to overseed. I just don't know if, because I really didn't formulate my budget really well this year, because my main focus was the back. So, and I always set myself a specific lawn care budget for the year when I start the year. So if something else comes up, then I kind of have to work around that. But we'll see. I just don't think I'm going to have time to do it, and my problem with the irrigation. So I might do strips and sections and just let the sprinklers go, and then next year do another section, you know. But we'll see, because I still got some stuff I want to fix back here. I get it needs to stay in budget. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and if I don't do that, then who knows what I'll do. if I go off budget, sorry, I thought there was like a goose or something. If I go off budget, then if I'm like, oh, just five extra bucks. Well, if I spent $5 extra over budget, well, I can go $20 over budget. Either way, I'm over budget, and then 2 days later, I'm $200 over budget. And I gotta have some self-control, so yeah. Plus, there's other stuff that I tend to go over budget on, so I need to. If I stay on budget with the lawn, then I know I can stay better on budget when it comes to grilling, instead of getting, like, oh, this brisket looks really good. It's only $120 when there's a brisket right next to it that's just 2 pounds lighter. That's, only $60 or whatever. I know that's not an example, but yeah. So I just need to keep it on track. All right, we're hitting 37 minutes here, so I don't want to keep blabbing too much longer. But yeah, I did want to make sure everyone knew that I'm not going to do that many lives anymore, just because if I'm going to spend my time talking to a camera, I might as well use that time to make a video, because I do have a couple videos planned. I've been talking to Princess Cut Lawn George, making some ideas. He's been helping me out, because I've just been kind of got like a writer's block basically for this entire year, and talking to him really helped me kind of break out of that a little bit, and talking to other people like Nate, Jeremy a little bit. I tend not to text Jeremy because I know that dude's busy. I really don't want to bug people. Where Nate, he might be busy, but too bad. I've known Nate longer than I've known Jeremy, so. But yeah, so that's my main goals for before the end of this year. Is I want to get the backyard back up to where it was at the beginning of the year, where it was just thick and lush and gorgeous. Some of that's going to involve, who knows. I do not want to overseed the backyard, because another thing I want to do is just see how well Bermuda grass fills in. Because anytime you ask anybody, they basically go, oh. So I want to find out. Also, I want to let the Bermuda fill in more, so I'm going to probably pound the crap out of that thing with fertilizer, and then get ready to winterize when I can. I'm also going to keep up with the mowing, and I'm going to use plant growth regulator. I don't have that much left, but for anybody curious who doesn't have Bermuda or doesn't have plant growth regulator, the rates for plant growth regulator, T-Nex specifically, because that's what I have, so that's the label I read. The rates for those is much higher in a cool season grass than it is for Bermuda. Bermuda, I believe, is 0.25 to 0.50 ounces per thousand, where something like tall fescue Kentucky bluegrass is 1 ounce per thousand normally for just a regular lawn every 6 to 8 weeks. So since Bermuda is so much less, I think I'm going to have enough to be able to do maybe 2-3 more applications. And I have some feature left, so I normally throw some feature in there because it does discolor any grass. So I get my micros and some more iron, so it'll look good. And then the other thing I'm still not too sure about is the front. I'm waiting for my overseed. Yeah, well, that's the first time I used plant growth regulator, which in this case again was T-Nex. I got a bunch from Jason G, yard guy, who I'm sure everyone here is familiar with, and then I got a bunch from when I was still on the lawn forum Discord. I don't remember his name now, but he sent me some too. So I got a bunch of it. It was way cheaper than buying a gallon because that's like 170 bucks or something. Actually, yeah, I think between 140 and 170 bucks for a gallon of T-Nex. And like I said, those rates, every 2 months you're using an ounce at max, an ounce per thousand. So that's going to last forever. But yes, plant growth regulator. If you're going to, I don't know if a new is liquid granular or water dispersible granular. I do know that a new has it's either just the way it functions or whatever. I know that it's really good for killing off and fighting poatriv. Yeah, make sure you put down your plant growth regulator. Like, I think I did it like growing with Greg. What's up, dude? Oh, it's going well, man. I'm actually getting ready to wrap up here because I don't like spending too much time just talking because I don't want to annoy anybody, but welcome. Oh yeah, plant growth regulator, when I overseeded, I think I did it maybe a week before, and I did so if you read the label, at least for T-Nex, again, I don't know about a new, I have to assume it's fairly similar, but for T-Nex, if it tells you if you're going to use this for overseeding, then you want to go ahead and, or no, I'm sorry, if you're using it for the first time, then you can use higher than normal rate. And it tells you if you're overseeding, you can use higher than normal rate. So what I did was I used the double rate a week before I was planning to do seed, because that slows down the grass that's already there so significantly that you're not going to have to mow. I didn't have to mow again until all of my seedlings were, 3 inches tall, which obviously that's what you want. So yes, plant growth regulator before you overseed is amazing. It's the best overseed I've ever experienced. Except for my irrigation stuff. So, it's a mix. But, yeah, that's what happened there. So, yeah, definitely do that. Matt, what's up, dude? Yeah, so that's my 3 plans. I mean, I guess one of them isn't really a plan. It's more of a up in the air thing about the front. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do about it. It looks like trash, but I think once fall gets here and cooler temps and I can start watering really nice and normal, I think I'm going to wait to see what bounces back, because I'm pretty confident that everything that's dead in the front is rye, and I don't really care about rye. I think rye looks cool, and if you can water it and baby it, because it's such a stupid little baby grass, no offense to anybody that has rye, but if you have rye, it's just such a little baby. It just needs to be taken care of so specifically, and it's really annoying. But I'm pretty confident everything up there that's dead is rye. So I'm going to let the fescue keep growing. And, oh, God. I'm pretty sure that was a baby yellow jacket. Anyway. Sorry, I don't want something stinging me, so I had to throw it away. But if everything that's dead up there is rye, I don't care. I'm not going to overseed with rye at any point, anywhere, including the Bermuda. Just not going to do it. I'd rather have a giant section of brown for, until it gets hot again, rather than have to worry about all the extra steps that come with overseeding with rye and then killing the rye. And then just what's the point of overseeding a Bermuda lawn with rye if you're just going to kill it, right? Seems like a huge waste of money to me. And like I said, I make very specific budgets down to cost per application, and I get really tight with it because why not? I got time to stare at budgets and stuff. Yeah. So if everything in the front's just rye dead, I don't care. I'm gonna wait to see what happens because, like I said, it's a good amount of it's a good amount of fescue and bluegrass, so it should fill in nicely. And back here, same thing. I'm seeing a lot of spreading and stuff, but depending on how this Bermuda goes, I think I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to bring this into existence on accident, but if that Bermuda goes really awesome, then I might try doing Bermuda everywhere. Again, not too sure if that's a good idea, but wouldn't that be cool? The only problem is back here, I know that Bermuda hates shade a lot, so it would not do well back here. Yeah, we basically said that at the same time, Chad. So yeah, it would not do well back here, but still, like the idea of having a shorter lawn care season while having super mean, aggressive grass, it's kind of attractive, isn't it? Anyway, I do want to try some other stuff because if anybody doesn't know, from what I've read, and somebody can confirm this or deny it, whatever. From what I've read, if you can grow Bermuda from seed, that means it is a hybrid version of a common Bermuda. So it still is common Bermuda, it's just a better version of it. Where real Bermuda, like the Tiffs, Tiffway, Tiff Tuff, all the, those are not hybrid commons, those are, I forgot what they're called. They have a specific name for them, like elite, basically. So from those, you can only grow those from plugs or sprigs or whatever. So if you grow it from seed, then it's basically just a common Bermuda. It's just an advanced common. So I was thinking about trying a different Bermuda type, but one of those elite ones, like I know Bimini. I'm just thinking about the plugs that I've seen readily available. You can either get shipped or sod farms again. Well, the sod farms that are like 30 miles that way, they have Bermudas. They have some. I think they grow them all inside, but because they can have them year round. But they also have some zoysias over there. So I might look at that, and then in addition to that, then if I purchase some plugs to kind of spread out throughout the Bermuda that's already over there and see how they grow, then I can look at getting some Tahoma 31, which is supposed to be like the most cool season adaptable Bermuda. The Lawn Tools sent me a plug of it last year, and moles destroyed it. They literally made a tunnel right through it, and it never recovered. So I was a little shocked by that, but I might have been doing something else wrong too the whole time. Maybe I wasn't fertilizing it enough or watering enough or whatever. I don't know. Better stock up on Gly now. Really? I rarely use glyphosate. In fact, I think instead of getting any more glyphosate at all, because I don't like having like a separate sprayer for it and being really careful, it's not fun. I think I'm just gonna get a torch, man, like one of those weed torches. I think that's a better investment. And if you're gonna have to pay for something, why not pay for canisters of the fuel, the propane? I know some of them run on other stuff, but I think that's a way better choice. I mean, unless of course you're trying to kill everything, but glyphosate's it's effective at killing living things, but if something's dormant, it's not going to do anything. Where things like the heat tarps, you know, which is what I would do if I was going to do a full reno. I would do a giant heat tarp, you know, the slightly clear black ones that they kill everything that's like up to 8 inches down in the soil. Oh, if I was going to do all, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Like I said, yeah, no, I really don't think I'm going to, because, like I said, excuse me, like I said, I don't trust our weather here, because, you know, we will, like, what was it, like, I don't know, it was about 6 weeks after I started the Bermuda, sprigs, little babies were coming up, and I could see it starting to push out some stolons and stuff, and then we had like a week of highs in the low 70s, in the middle of like June, you know, so highs in the low 70s, lows in like the 50s, high 40s. I thought the Bermuda was going to die. I know it's not frost, but I know baby Bermuda doesn't like the cold. Most grass doesn't like the cold as a baby. So because of situations like that, I really don't want to do full Bermuda. I just don't trust it. A little tiny 1,400 square foot section, if that all dies, it's not that big a deal. Because I know I can easily water it, I can easily take care of it and put in another cool season grass, you know. Yeah, I don't think I really ever will go full Bermuda. It's just not worth it to me. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's some trade-offs. You get blue Bermuda, maybe, but both of those take so long to germinate. And again, my issue with the front, I can't tell if I just keep hearing bugs fly next to my ear. Yeah, I don't want a squirrel jumping out of a tree, jumping on me. That has happened. That's the only reason I mentioned that. But anywho, I might look into it, Chad. I don't want to just say no, because I know blue Bermuda does have a significantly longer year timeline, calendar year for the lawn itself, compared to just Bermuda. But yeah, I don't know. I do not know. I was thinking of buffalo grass potentially, because buffalo is also really good in our climate. But yeah, that's basically just a warm season, or a combination of tall fescue and Bermuda. Just doesn't grow as fast, and blah blah blah. But I know it's incredibly drought tolerant. Anywho, I'm not going to just start talking about random crap like that, but I did, for anybody else who joined who wasn't on earlier, just to summarize this, because I'm going to drop off here in a second. Bermuda's looking good, cutting at 1 inch now. I'm going to start cutting at 3/4 of an inch once it starts to spread. Backyard looking okay, took it back up to 2 inches using the rotary. Not the reel, the reel's for the Bermuda. Front looks like crap. And I'm going to start making videos, so I'm going to stop doing lives. I haven't been really consistent on lives anyway. So that's the rest of this video. Thank you all for jumping on. I saw a ton of you guys here. If I didn't answer one of your questions, if you had one, I am sorry. The chat, for a while, because my connection was so bad, the chat was jumping all over the place. Couldn't really catch up. Chad, thank you. And everyone else, thanks for jumping on. Again, I really do appreciate it. And you'll see me soon in a video. Bye, guys.